Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. Among today's most important news, the first story we bring to you is from Sialkot. There's a saying attributed to Hazrat Ali, "May Allah be pleased with him, power does not change a person, it unmasks them." In other words, it reveals their true face. Something similar happened inside the City Housing Society in Sialkot, where some families had gone to watch a movie. Along with these families were a few young men. At that time, Miss Noshin Iftikhar arrived at the same cinema in City Housing Society to watch a film. She was accompanied by her guards. The guards pushed one of the young men, perhaps while trying to get tickets or enter the hall. When the young man was shoved, he asked, "Why are you pushing me?" The guard replied, "Step aside, an MNA is coming through." That MNA was Noshin Iftikhar from Daska, a representative of the Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz. After her father passed away, she had contested and won the election to become an MNA. The young man responded, "Even if she is an MNA, so what? We're here to watch a movie too." That's when things escalated. Let me explain this to you as though I directly spoke to the people who were there. This is how they recounted the incident to me. After the guard's behaviour, Miss Noshin Iftikhar herself lost control. The mask slipped and she became aggressive towards those young men. Another woman accompanying her was heard yelling from behind, "Noshin, stop! Don't do it!" But Noshin Iftikhar charged at them with full force, much like how Pakistani J-10C jets aggressively intercept Indian Rafale aircraft. She attacked these helpless young men who had simply come with their families to watch a movie. First, they were shoved by her driver. And when they dared to say, "We've also paid for tickets to watch this movie," she snapped back, saying, "Who is this person who doesn't know how to speak properly?" A video clip of the incident was also recorded. Now, when you talk about the middle class, Miss Noshin Iftikhar may belong to the middle or upper middle class. She's not from some feudal family like the Pirzada clan. Her father was Iftikhar Shah, and this is Noshin Iftikhar. She's been elected as an MNA for the second time. Just observe how power has gone to her head. This is how power corrupts people. Of course, she has every right to watch a movie like anyone else. She could watch it 100 times if she likes, but she should at least instruct her guards to behave with decency. Guards only act respectfully when they know their boss shows humility and respects others. How you train your staff is how they will behave toward others. So this is the situation I wanted to bring to your attention. This isn't new either. Recently, during an election in Sambriel, Sialkot, her party's candidate ran a campaign featuring images of a field marshal. If a field marshal is being used to win elections, then naturally Noshin Iftikhar must see herself as a brigadier. If MPAs are colonels or majors, then according to that logic, she must be a brigadier. So when someone dared to challenge Brigadier Madam at the cinema, of course, those poor kids had to face a few shoves. Punjab's Inspector General of Police, Dr. Usman Anwar, has visited the home of Zila Shah. This is the same IGP Punjab under whose watch Zila Shah was brutally killed. According to the post-mortem report, not my words, but the report from Services Hospital, his private parts were crushed between his legs. The doctors who examined the body were shaken. Every doctor I spoke to at the time said they had never seen such severe torture in a medical report. Zil Shah's body had bruises and broken bones all over. He was a special needs individual, and Punjab police killed him. Of course, Usman Anwar and the entire Lahore police force of that time were involved. Now, whether it is guilt or something else, Usman Anwar repeatedly visits Zila Shah's house. Maybe he can't sleep at night, maybe he's haunted by dreams, I don't know, but he keeps going back. There's an older video of Zila Shah's parents where they clearly stated that they were pressured to give certain statements, saying they did not want to pursue legal action. I remember that even filing an FIR was not allowed. Before an FIR could be registered, statements were forcibly taken from the family under pressure. Now, he, the IGP, goes there. Whether you call it guilt or something else, you might be better at analysing that than I am, but what is certain is that Zil Shah's blood is on the hands of Usman Anwar and the police involved. The killer is now visiting the home of the victim. Of course, what can the grieving family do when the Inspector General of Punjab visits them? If they don't receive him, then someone else from their family might meet the same fate as Zilla Shah. We will show you a video footage, or rather play an audio clip, from the time when Zilla Shah was martyred. He was a PTI worker and used to live near Khan Sahib's residence in Zaman Park. He was always motivating people, playing patriotic songs and dancing to them. After his martyrdom, an audio was leaked in which Maryam Nawaz is seen advising Pervez Rashid on how to use Zil Shah's martyrdom for their own political gain. She was discussing how to build a narrative around the incident without it backfiring against them. Listen carefully. There was also talk about people who supposedly fed Zil Shah personally, but this was denied. No, he is not an angel. No, he is not an angel. The Chief Minister was asking Pervez Rashid what narrative should be constructed now. They were strategizing how to manipulate the situation for their benefit. Keep in mind that Usman Anwar is still going to Zilla Shah's house because of this narrative game. They want to control this narrative in their hands. Moving on, today we saw another scenario where the situation has worsened significantly. After the war with India, earlier only a few officers used to appear on TV. We had requested DG ISPR at the time to also bring in Air Force officers since it was an air war, so Air Vice Marshal Aurangzeb Ahmad was brought in, and the public appreciated him because the Air Force was the one actually fighting the war. But after that, the Field Marshal sat silently. Now the Air Force is being praised. We have made the Air Force the minister. A whole platoon of them sits on TV. This platoon is ours, so we don't have any issue with them. The poor platoon soldiers are just our brothers who come when duty calls. But see what happened with our Chudari Sahib. They sent the entire platoon onto TV programs. This is a GEO TV program called Mazakar program, where officers and soldiers from all branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, are sitting in full uniform. One officer even said, "Aren't you afraid of my face?" The anchor Tabish said, "No, you are one of us. How could I be afraid of you?" The officer insisted, "No, look at how scary my face is. You should be afraid of me. If you're afraid of me, then the enemy will be afraid too." Listen to this. Even our own forces are a little shaken. So imagine the condition of our enemies. This conversation is part of the mindset training they're giving our officers. Tabish, who hosts the program, is quite intelligent, and people from Mirza shows are known to be sharp. When told, "Aren't you afraid of me?" he cleverly replied, "You are one of us. Why should I be afraid?" The officer's training is so thick-headed that he insists you should be afraid of me. If you are afraid, then the enemy will be too. Think about where things are heading when the mindset is that others should fear them. Ideally, training should be such that your own citizens see you as peacekeepers and the enemy fears you. But here the focus is on intimidating others, even your own people. Back to the Air Force. The brave Air Force who fought the war have not even been given seats at the back. We want so much credit that we've sidelined them completely. I remember in 2019 when our pilots shot down 2 Indian planes, a very senior figure told the then Federal Information Minister to stop praising the Air Force so much. "How much more do you want to lift them up?" "Enough is enough," our government said. "Jealousy here is deep-rooted. This is professional jealousy. If it exists, it's understandable to a degree. It's reality and can't be eliminated." But check this out. On one side, we're stopping Imran Khan from offering Eid prayers. His Eid prayers have been banned in Pakistan. It's not only Imran Khan who has been banned from Eid prayers, others have been banned too. Now think, who else has had Eid prayers banned in Pakistan? No one. But in Indian-occupied Kashmir, Mirwais Umar Farooq was stopped from offering Eid prayers by the Indian Army because they feared unrest. So Mirwais Umar Farooq is banned from Eid prayers in Indian Kashmir, and Imran Khan is banned from Eid prayers in Pakistan. Additionally, India has stopped Sikh yatris from coming to Pakistan to participate in the important religious ceremonies of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. This clearly shows India's oppression of Sikhs. These Sikhs neither want to fight nor have any business in wars, They just want to visit their religious places. How can India stop them? This is against all global principles and laws, but no one asks questions here. Moeed is so furious right now that he is ready to attack anyone or go against anyone. We bring you another news item. On Pakistani television, unusual things have been happening lately, but something very unique happened in the history of Pakistan television. This unique event took place on Dunya TV, where Kamran Shahid hosted a program. I was genuinely surprised because Mujib-ur-Rahman Shami, a senior journalist whom I greatly respect, was invited as well. However, during the program there was a discussion about women, where there was no one to defend them. The entire debate was orchestrated by Sohail Warich and others present there, including Jawad Ahmed, who was recently caught in an electricity theft case. His wife allegedly had an electricity theft meter on her beauty parlor. They were having an argument related to this issue. During the program, Sohail Warich and Jawad Ahmed both verbally attacked Bushra Bibi. Fazza Ali, a morning show host, actress, and I think also a model, handled the situation very intelligently. I don't understand how she played such a masterstroke against Sohail Warich, and I was amazed by it. What surprised me more was that Mujib-ur-Rahman Shami, despite being an experienced and senior journalist, also lost his emotional control. It was clear that Sohail Warich was almost provoking him, as if in Punjabi slang, poking him to release his pressure, and he took the bait. He lost his composure and said a lot, which frankly he has recently been saying quite openly. Let me now narrate what was said. Listen carefully. At first he said, okay, but telling the truth is my necessary task. Then he went on about how in a restaurant or a foreign country there are restroom cleaners. Bro, how could you say this? On what basis? This was the question. He explained that every woman has been to the restroom, but they don't show us that. He said if you were in some other country, you'd be cleaning restrooms in a restaurant. Fazza Ali added more, saying the real reason is that because Sohail Warich visits actresses' bedrooms and even their bathrooms for interviews, she showed a clip of a transgender person whom Sohail was questioning repeatedly about his attraction to men. I must explain that the transgender person had a little surgery and was wearing a prosthetic breast. Since Sohail Warich's skin is a bit thick, he doesn't think deeply about these things. Fazza Ali said Sohail goes to your bathroom, so maybe he cleans bathrooms. That's why he's there. What were they doing with the transgender person? Listen to this. They discussed what kind of male beauty is attractive, moustaches, fair skin, tall height, and so on. It was embarrassing to listen to. The transgender said he likes fair, smart, handsome men. Then Sohail Warich said he stops his own feelings. Yes, I stop them. Of course, I am human. I have feelings. He spoke about having cameras installed in his room to monitor himself because a person's solitude should be pure. If your solitude is pure, no one can disturb you, but feelings can trouble you. He explained that if you don't have any gain, success or benefit, you should hold back your steps and not move forward. You heard all that. Before this segment, actresses were lying in bed, and Sohail Warich was interviewing them right beside the bed. He had even gone into the bathroom. This is just their style, and they think it is the correct way. Fazza Ali also commented about Jawad Ahmed, saying she likes how he talks, and in her usual frank manner she said if he wasn't a singer, he'd be a washerman, a dhobi. Earlier she indirectly advised him to wear clean, fresh-smelling clothes and to bathe regularly. The argument then turned to Bushra Bibi's veil, or niqab. They questioned why she wears it. Fazza Ali said, let her wear it if she wants. Sohail Warich said, if you act wearing a niqab, then we'll know, and we can justify Bushra Bibi's niqab too. She responded that it is her choice whether to wear it or not. Sohail Warich justified that unless you yourself wear the niqab and act, you cannot justify Bushra Bibi's niqab. He compared it to someone who smokes cigarettes. They cannot tell others not to smoke if they themselves smoke. He said, don't do that, Sohail Warich. Then Kamran Shahid interrupted jokingly. He said, tell us honestly, do you want to see them naked? Not just naked bird, but not even wearing hijab, you want to see them unveiled. Kamran Shahid, being intelligent, chose his words carefully, meaning what I had said before. The whole atmosphere was very misogynistic and rude. Fazza Ali handled it very well, and I would say she totally exposed and outsmarted them. Moving on, we have another news piece, an interview of Sheikh Rashid. It was very heartbreaking. He talked about how his political career was forcibly ended, how he was pressured and forced to quit politics. He broke down remembering his mother at his age. Naturally, he loved his mother, but his real heartbreak was over what the generals did to him. At his age, he was obviously pained and emotionally distressed. Sheikh Rashid started crying like a child because I don't think he can even comprehend what the generals did to him. Asim Munir and others, he always says he did politics with GHQ. He never expected to be treated this way. But his own friends did this to him. Think about it. Here is a very senior politician who has won many elections, crying on national TV. You can imagine the psychological and emotional impact this whole situation has had on people. Their entire world has been robbed, and you can imagine the effects yourself. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.